Good morning, ladies. My name is Victoria. I don't need that in right now. My name is Victoria. I am 53, and because I have more mature skin, Brittany has asked me to hop on and give some tips and tricks for those ladies that may be more in my age bracket, 45 older, and just wanted to share with you guys some tips and tricks for older skin that may be helpful. And let's see, Brittany's, I believe this is a party for her mom, Peggy, who travels a lot. So this makeup is super convenient for anybody who travels because it comes in palettes. And depending on how much you buy, you get different size palettes, which I'm sure you guys have seen already in this party. But if you haven't, then please tune in, because this palette holds 4 tins of regular product or 8 tins of eyeshadow, and it is the quad, and you get it for free as long as you buy at least 4 tins. This one here, if you want to keep your eyeshadow separated, I use it for my milk moisturizer so I can throw it down in my purse. This is so nice. This keeps your lips so silky smooth, and there's no cracking or drying out in the wintertime. It's fabulous. And then we have, in this one, I'm just trying this one because it's fun. That's all our glitters. Aren't they beautiful? But anyways, that's the smallest palette that there is, this size here. I'm not showing every palette that we have. There's lots of sizes in between. And this would be the biggest one. It's the double decker. And I have all my, you can see they're pretty worn out. I have all my personal colors in here. I do have a lot of highlight colors in here. Typically, everybody gets 2 highlight colors. Highlight is what is traditionally known as your foundation. And then these are your contours, or these are my contours. I have my Glow Illuminator next to my Bella Bronzer because I like to use those together for my bronzing. And then I have several lip and cheek colors over here. And this is a cream illuminator called Angel. It's my absolute favorite. These are 4 of the 5 powder illuminators, and as you can see, they're kind of loved too. I will tell you honestly, powder is not necessarily the best for mature skin if you have a lot of fine lines and wrinkles, because powder settles down more in fine lines and wrinkles than creams. Creams are absolutely made for our age bracket. Creams are amazing for mature skin. It just provides a very light second layer over your skin, and it doesn't settle into the lines. It doesn't settle into the wrinkles. And if you ever have any settling, you can just tap, and it's good again. So cream is very forgiving. It's very easy to correct. And I am absolutely, completely in love with this product and will use it for forever. I'm going to go ahead and I'm sure she's going to tell you about all the different brushes, so I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to use this brush today. I do have somewhere to be, and I want to show you guys how quickly you can actually get your face done. And that's the other thing. So not only if you're traveling, you know, I would recommend having this too. But there you go. You don't have this huge makeup bag of stuff to pack. You just take whatever size palette you get, and, you know, depending on how much product you want, and your brush, your stay spray, and you've got it made. You can get out the door, and you have everything you need for traveling, and it can actually even fit in your purse. It doesn't even have to go in your luggage. So, I mean, unless you carry a little crossbody that doesn't have this much room. Okay, so I start with my stay spray. Not everybody does that. Some people like to use a different kind of primer. Sorry, I need to try to get my hair on my face. Some people like to use a different kind of primer. I like to use the stay spray because it gives my makeup absolute staying power. I use it before and after. And the new bottle does not look like this. I just haven't used up the old bottle yet. The new bottle, actually I just got one in the mail yesterday because mine was starting to get low. The new bottle comes, it's in a taller packaging. Let's see. I said I had somewhere to go, didn't I? And here I am just taking my time. Let's see. Try to put everything in. That's what the new bottle looks like of the Stay Spray. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my highlight color first. Some people use their contour first. You're going to do whatever makes you comfortable. And you're going to go in whichever order you find works best for you. But I like to go in with my highlight color first. Start in the eye area and work my way out. A little goes a long way. You want to use a very light hand in your application. But you start in the eye area because you have more product. And that's usually where you need a little bit better coverage. And then work your way down. Now, depending on what brush you use, you have to use different motions. Some brushes you stipple your makeup on. Some brushes, like this one, you can actually do little swiping motions. So just depending on which brush you choose to use, will depend on how you apply your makeup. I use it everywhere. That's kind of a waste of makeup, to be honest with you, because you could put it just everywhere, and I don't go up to my hairline, but you could just put it everywhere that your contour is not going to go, because really everything is your foundation. Everything is building that coverage. I want to just tell you guys a couple of things. If you have extreme redness, if you have dark spots, which I do have one here, it doesn't bother me, so I don't bother to cover it. But there are many tips and tricks for doing that. If you have melasma, I used to have rosacea, but I started using our milk products, and really, unless I forget to do my nighttime routine for a few nights, you know, I get a little bit of redness back. But typically, the redness is completely gone, and I had extreme redness. If you have a lupus rash, if you have any of those things, age spots, there is a color correcting system. I'm sure Brittany's gonna post the chart that tells you what colors correct what things. But I mean, there are lip and cheeks you can use, there are contours you can use, there are highlights you can use. We have so many, our products are so versatile in what they do that everything is not just stuck to one thing. Everything has multiple purposes. It's really kind of cool. So if you have any of those things, when Brittany goes to color match you, make sure that you guys discuss whatever skin issue you may have going on, so she can recommend which product to add to your regimen, just to help you if you really want to color correct that thing, whatever that thing is. So now I'm just going to go ahead, and when you do your contour, you want to find the bottom of your cheekbone. Just feel for where it's at, and you do not want to really contour below that. You want to kind of hug that bottom of your cheekbone and get that contour in. And you're just, by contouring, you're trying to give the illusion of sculpting in cheeks. I have a rounder face, so for me, I use a straight line on my contour because I'm trying to define cheekbones. For somebody with a thin face that has that, but they need some more volume to their cheek, they're going to kind of go with a Nike swoop, but you do want to stay out of these smile lines. You do not want to go that far, but you do want to just give that illusion of cheekbones. You contour up here on your forehead, and that, especially if you don't have bangs. If you have bangs, you don't necessarily have to do that, but I don't have bangs. So contouring on the forehead provides that shadow so that, you know, you're not seeing this long forehead here, but you're now bringing the focus to this part of your eyes or this part of your face so that your eyes become your focal point. You want your eyes and smile to be the thing that people notice the most about you. Before I dip that brush again, I just take that little bit that's left and just create a small shadow at the jawline just to kind of definitely, you know, define that jawline a little bit. Because I have a round face, I go up into the corner of my face right there and I shadow that part out a little bit just to create a thinner face. It's like having a facelift and a palette. And as we age, we get that like looser skin on our neck. You can just add a little bit of shadow there. And again, you know, you will blend all of this out, but we'll just add a little bit of shadow there to shadow that part out or to diminish it some, okay? I have a pug at the end of my nose, and to help diminish that, you're going to take, oh, and this is our detailed hack brush, sorry. This was our blush and bronzer brush, and this is our detailed hack brush. So you're just going to take and create a line. And then I'm also going to kind of go across the pug on my nose and just kind of shadow that pug a little bit. I should be using a mirror, not just the phone, because the phone's so far away, I can't really see when I'm doing these fine lines. And you kind of brush it up towards that brow bone. Do the other side, brush it into that V, brush it up towards that brow bone. And now this becomes the focal point of my nose. All this blends out. You're not going to look this ridiculous or this silly, but this becomes the focal point of the nose, and it's like having an immediate nose job. So we're getting all kinds of cosmetic work and we're not paying all that money. So I'm just going to blend a little bit with this just to show you guys how blendable it is. So see, just blending it out a little bit. And I'm going to blend more later, but I just wanted to kind of show you guys. And see how this side is, just when blending, I came a little bit further in, and it's a little bit more on this side. I'm just going to take my highlight and go back and kind of thin that out a little bit. And voila, it's like magic erase, just like I was telling you guys. It's just like magic erase. So see? I'm going to go ahead and use the fluffy side of this and just kind of blend all that up just a tiny bit. Don't want to blend it all away because you want that there. You want that definition there. I just don't want it to stand out like that. So then I'm going to take this side of this brush and just kind of tap where that color is. I don't want it to blend away, and I'll actually use my beauty blender to get it blended better than that. I'm just going to put a little bit of my highlight color in the middle of the nose so that when I do blend, that middle of the nose stays. It doesn't get the contour and it has that highlight color there. Okay, so we have all of that, and I just realized I didn't wet my sponge, so I'm actually going to stop the video for 1 second, go wet my sponge, and I'll be right back. Okay, my apologies, and I forgot to restart the video and did my eyebrows, but I just used contour on my eyebrows too. Contour can do so many different things. We're actually going to go ahead, before I use the beauty blender, I'm going to use the contour on my lips. Compact so that I can see. I like to get it right below the lip line, right hugging that lip line. And in the middle here, I like to just kind of give it an extra little smudge to create that pout on the lip, because as our lips age, they start to disappear. If you don't have that, you're so fortunate. But it definitely has happened to me. So just lining right outside of the lip, right at the edge. Bring those lips back. Then you can just kind of brush it in towards the lip a little bit if you're afraid that it's too much. You can use your finger. Kind of buff it a little to blend it out. Just try to leave that little pout underneath of there. So now my lips are lined, and if you really aren't happy with, like if you've done too much, you can just come back with that brush that has a highlight on it. It doesn't really have a whole lot left, but you can kind of clean up just to make sure you stayed in the lines or the outlines in the right place. So I feel like right there is a little bit lower than the other side. But like I said, it's like magic erase. You can go back and fix anything. It's really pretty awesome. All right, so you want to have a beauty blender. You want to get it, I wish I would have showed you the size of it before I got it wet, but it was at least 1/3 of the size. You want to get it soaking wet where it's very squishy and lovely and fluffy, but there is absolutely no water left in it. It feels dry. So you squeeze it out in a towel is typically what I do so that it gets that. And that just helps you push that makeup in. And then if there's any extra makeup, see, it picks up the makeup that is on top that maybe doesn't really belong there, so that you have a more flawless finish. So here I'm going to use it to blend my nose a little bit better. So it can be used to blend, like blending that forehead, those two forehead colors together so that it doesn't show a stark difference between the light and the dark, but it's just sitting there as a shadow. So see, now you can't even, before it kind of looked like there was a line going across where it was dark and where it was light, but now it's all blended together. There's still a shadow there, but you can't really tell like that I put it on myself. It just looks like a natural shadow on my face. And the same with my nose. There is a shadow, but it's not that stark like line that was there, but now the center of my nose is the focal point of my nose. It's not as wide as it was. Hopefully you guys can see that in the video. All right, so moving on, we've done our highlight, we've done our contour, and now it's time. I like to bronze at this point because I put my lip and cheek on second to last. Illuminating is very last, but I like to bronze at this point. And you can use any of your tools to bronze with, but I'm going to go ahead and use this since I have it out. And I'm going to take that butt end and I'm going to dip it into the product. So see the bronzer's on there. And then I'm going to tap it where I want it to go. And you want to bronze in all the places that the sun typically kisses you. So when you're out getting sun, typically your forehead gets some sun, your cheeks get the sun, your nose gets the sun, and you're just adding warmth and color back to your skin. I like our cream bronzer. It is so good, but our powder is good too, and I use that in different ways. The cream bronzers just like gives you all this glowingness and warmth. I just love it. So I forgot to blend that line at my jaw. So I'm just blending that right now and getting a little bit of bronzer on my neck so that the color of my neck and the color of my face match. Okay, see how that bronzer really warmed up my face? And really some women use that and then they call it a good day because they have color in their face and they just like it like that. They don't add the blush to it. I'm a blush girl. Always have been a blush girl, so I love doing blush. I'm actually going to go ahead and go with Cindy, which is our newest pink type of color. It's kind of, I think it's kind of a mixture between it's more of a peachy pink, but just so that you guys can see, how Cindy looks. Well, that didn't do a whole lot, so let me get the blush end of and you just tap in there. I didn't pick up a whole lot of product, but that should probably be just enough. It's because you want to get it on the apples of the cheek just to add that color back in, but you don't necessarily want to swipe it all the way back. Just kind of tap it in the apples of the cheek and kind of back towards that contour line. So see, you just want to get that color back in your skin. It wakens up more mature skin to have a little bit of color in it. So you're just kind of adding color to the apples of the cheeks, kind of getting it back a little bit. Okay, and that's really it for the blush. I go ahead and I press that too with the Beauty Blender just to make sure that it's blended nicely with the rest of the product and that I don't have anything extra that I need to pick up. I forgot I had the bronzer on that end, so I'm going to flip it over and just kind of do it again on the clean side of the sponge. So there you go. So some women don't like to illuminate and may call it a good day here. I do like to illuminate, and I typically use this illuminator here, and I will use this. I will use our Blend Best Friend, or if I'm just sticking with one brush for the day, I will use the side of this brush. But today I'm just going to show you the difference. I don't typically use a lot of powder on my face because I do have fine lines and wrinkles. If you are oily and you need to use powder, I would say to lightly powder, I would go with like something like the fluffy end of this brush or the fluffy end of this brush, and I would just kind of tap it in where you need it, where you get oily. But very, very, very lightly with a dusting powder. We have a vanilla dust powder that goes in your palette, or if you have a favorite translucent powder, then I would use that if you tend to get oily. I don't have that issue, and I prefer the glow. It's nice for us to get that glow back that our skin kind of loses as it ages, I like that. So I like the dewy. The dewiness. Some people absolutely love matte and do not want to be dewy at all. And if that's the case, Cayman bronzer, maybe the powder illuminator, depending on how it settles. You could try it. You might have to go back to a cream, and a little bit of dusting powder, and you'll have the matte finish you love, but you still have all the beauty that the cream creates and the 3D effect of the mascara makeup. So I'm actually going to just take the butt end again. I'm going to go into Photoshop because it is pink, like the color I just used. And you just want that on the high points of your cheeks. So, did I get anything on there? Because it doesn't seem like it really. Okay, so you're just getting that on the high points of your cheeks. Do you see that shimmer that was just added compared to that side? See, that is the illuminator there. I also take it on my nose and in the Cupid's bow. I'm just showing you guys the powder because it adds so much pizzazz. The cream is more subtle, just adds a little glow. It accentuates that area, but it doesn't give, it doesn't go into those lines and wrinkles that tend to come here. So I try to avoid that area and just go right at that high part of the cheek. Now I'm just taking that and blending it again, tapping it in, making sure I don't have a lot sitting there. I don't want to look like a lot. And when I use the powder, I just typically like to brush back over just to blend it really good so it's not settling. Okay, so I'm going to, because I am in a hurry, just do a really, really quick eye. And they say actually as you age, and every woman's different. I still have a lot of friends that love to use all the things on their eyes. But they say as we age, we should try to be more basic with our eyes. So you don't want to leave your eyes undone because it brings, it draws everything right there. And, but they say that you should not use as much shimmer and that kind of stuff. I don't know if I agree. I like some of the shimmer shadows, but you don't want things settling in those eyelids either. So I would recommend that you use a primer or you use your highlight color on your lids to give it something to stick to. I would also suggest that, and this is not our eyeshadow brush, I'm just sticking this in there real quick. And I'll go back and clean it up, but I'm just sticking it in there so I have some color on my eyes. But you want something so that you don't get, if you have oily eyelids or if you have wrinkly eyelids, as we age, they start to wrinkle a bit. You don't want it to settle in there, so you want to give it something to kind of stick to so that it looks the same as when you put it on hours later, because the rest of your face will. So you want your eyes to do that too. I'm really being sloppy because I'm not using our eyeshadow brush. Okay, I'm going to go back with eyeshadow brush. Okay, I'm going to go back with the eyeshadow brush and kind of blend that up into that crease, right above the crease, just to give me some color. Kind of swirl that corner. Really got carried away at the inner corner of the eyes. I'm gonna have to fix that. Gonna just swirl that crease on this side too. I have way more product over here for wanting to do just a real quick, easy eye. I just messed my eye up completely. But again, it's the beauty of this makeup. So another tip for your eyes is to either put one of the illuminators in the corner of your eye, or some of the lighter color, whatever lighter color you have in your palette of highlight, because if you lighten up the inner corner right there, the inner corner of your eyes, it brings like a pop, and it opens those eyes up more. And it also just cleans up what I did wrong. So that doesn't hurt at all. I'm sorry, I'm recovering from bronchitis, so my voice is kind of crackly, like a teenager who's like hitting maturity or something. All right, so I just did the, let me see, I'm gonna actually get another eyeshadow palette that has like a lighter color in it. Okay, I'm gonna go in with one of these lighter colors just to add a little bit of a lighter color here in the inner corner, because I like my eye to start lighter and go darker. Kind of open the eye up with that. And I'm going to take the thinner end of my eyeshadow everything brush, and I'm just going to kind of put a darker color here at the outside corner, and I'll blend that. And then underneath, I just smudge it as my eyeliner. I don't have to go back and do eyeliner. It really defines the eyes. See the difference in the two? Let me blend this up. This darker color in the corner just kind of adds to all of that. I'm gonna take that lighter color, and you can do it with your illuminator or your lightest color in your palette for your eyeshadow, and just clean up there by the brow bone. But see the difference in the two eyes? See how that makes it stand out? So I'm just gonna add that color to the corner. So it's still a really simple eye. Basically one color all over, and then I just blended a little bit of two other colors in. Very simple eye, but it really opens up and helps with, you know, all the other work that was done to try to draw the attention to the eyes. Now the attention should be more at the eyes. I gotta put my mascara on. The last thing before I'm completely done, if you get a second highlight color, let me just show you what you would use that for. You're going to come out And you're just going to brighten this area of your face. It's like a triangle around your eyes. And you're just brightening with that lighter color. Gives you the opportunity to clean up anything. But can you see the difference between the two? By brightening there, it kind of just like lifts everything. Using this brush because it applies very, very light. So it also can clean up anything that you might have done. I feel like I was a little bit. Okay, so last thing I'm going to do is put on the Stay Spray besides my mascara, which I won't make you guys watch, but I'll give her an after picture once the mascara is done to post with the video. I'm going to give that 1 second to dry, and then I'm going to take the Beauty Blender one more time, especially over the new product I just added, just to make sure that it's placed good. And I'm just going to push everything in, pat it all down. Do not swipe, it will remove the makeup. You don't want to swipe, especially when it's wet. But you just want to pat, get everything in its place. And there you go. I like a very natural look. You can, this is buildable coverage. If you want more than this, if you want more of a glam look, then certainly you can create that look with this makeup. Brittany will probably post all levels of pictures of like people that do super glam, people who do more natural. I like a natural look. I like to have makeup on, but I like it to look more natural. So that's kind of what I've done for you here. Peggy, I hope you have a really successful party. And you guys, if you travel or even if you just want easy, this is the makeup for you. Okay, have a great day.